So welcome again to the Data Vote Friday. My name is Julian Brunner. I'm a BI consultant at Scalefree. And yeah, I run this session today. I'm replacing Michael, he's on vacation. Yeah, we do this session every Friday, 11 a.m. Central European time. And in this session, we're gonna answer a question about big data, data vault, of course, basically any data-driven topic. If you have any questions in advance, you can submit those questions via the form in the Zoom registration or directly here in the chat. And today's question is we received it from a customer. It's all about hubs. Basically, why we just can't remove hubs from the model and put the business keys into the satellite. So topic for today, the reason for having hubs. And second question, if it's possible or it makes sense to store business keys in directly in the satellite. All right, so first of all, what is a hub? A hub stores a distinct list of business keys, and it provides a consistent way to integrate data from various source systems. By consolidating different representations of the same entity into a single hub, you ensure consistency across the data warehouse. And when you add a new source that has a business object that already exists in your data vault, you add the business key of the new source to the existing hub and only add new satellites and links, of course, if needed. Same reason for scalability. When adding new sources, you don't have to refactor the existing model. You only add new entities. And here again, satellites, you add new satellites to the existing hubs. Regarding auditability, hubs provide a clear lineage and audit trail for the data in your data warehouse. The load date timestamp in a hub acts like a first seen date, and therefore it's much easier to track the evolution of your data over time. And last but not least, one of the most important reasons to have a hub, in my opinion, is that a hub provides the granularity of multiple downstream objects. So think about the creation of the information mart. For type 1 dimension, you need the granularity of the hub. And also for the type 2 dimension, the granularity is inside the PID, and the PID is built with the granularity of the hub. One could argue that you could create or recreate a distinct list of business keys out of all surrounding satellites, but that's a huge effort regarding compute costs when you have 10 or even 20 satellites attached to one hub. So you need the granularity of the hubs very frequently. That's why it wouldn't make sense to get rid of the hubs, basically. Yeah, so that's the reason, or multiple reasons for having a hub in your model, or having multiple hubs in your model. Let's talk about the second question regarding business keys in satellites. So by design, the business key belongs in the hub. In rare cases, we also have the business keys in the satellite. There's one case or one example that is taught in the bootcamp is the following. So let's say we have employee information, and in your data set, there's a VIN number of the company car, vehicle identification number. So an employee can have one company car, basically. You can consider the VIN number as a business key because it's a unique identifier for a car. But what if nobody cares about? So there's no data about it, what kind of car, technical data, nothing, and you don't even want to query it. So why should we create a hub for the company cars if nobody cares about the business key? So we consider the VIN number as a descriptive attribute in the satellite, describing the employee hub or the employee object. And after some sprints, it turns out that there's some data describing the company car. And there's a refactoring strategy for it. So the idea is, once somebody needs the business key now, you have to create a hub for the company car with the VIN number as business key, and of course attach satellites on it. And it's quite easy to reload the history of the hub. You simply select a distinct from the employees satellite with minimum load date timestamp and load it into the hub. And the relation between the employee and the VIN number becomes your link entity. And you could even load effectivity satellites from the satellite delta, so that's also possible. Yeah, that's the refactoring strategy to load the new entities from the existing data vault model. I wouldn't do this strategy if I know there will be data describing the company car someday in the future. It's only for those cases where everybody tells you they don't care about the keys. If you already know that they will care in the future, then I would create a hub directly. In the first place, it will be a hub without any satellites, but of course you can extend the model and add them later. So this whole use case is one of the rare cases where you could store business key in the satellite. I heard some discussions to put the business key per default into the satellite to basically simplify the query. But then, of course, you pay with more storage and redundancy and less nicer data vault design. And the extra value is quite low because for joining the entities, you use the hash keys anyway. And in most of the cases, you query the hub anyway because you need the granularity of it. And the join into a hub is very cheap because there is no history, and there you do an inner join with equi-join condition. So that's basically the cheapest join in the whole model. All right. I hope it answers the question. All right. Yeah, we have the Data Dreamland again this year in September here in Hanover. Yeah, we cover topics, of course, Data Vault topics. Clients will talk about their Data Vault implementations, topics such as data strategies, data mesh, data governance, generative AI, machine learning, and so on. So if you're interested, feel free to scan this QR code and reserve your tickets. All right. If you have further questions, use the form in the Zoom registration to submit your questions. Yeah, other than that, thanks for coming. I wish you a nice weekend and hopefully see you next Friday. Bye-bye.